bottom line for me is the Burlesque Hall of Fame Weekender is a fundraiser for the museum. I'm more interested in the museum and keeping the museum going. If there was no competition, if there was some other kind of showcase, I'd be fine with that as long as it draws attention to the museum and gets people interested in keeping the museum up and running, because the museum, almost went away when it was out in the desert. It had to move and grow.
Every year since we moved it to Las Vegas about 6 years ago, in which it was kind of a survival mode, we just had to, once the roof caved in at the old place, we had to get the show somewhere, then we had to just keep building it. It's all been all about survival. Finally last year, 2011, we really hit our stride with planning and organization back at the Orleans, which is a great home for us. Because before it was just a handful of people, basically whoever was left holding the bag, putting on the show and working on the museum. But last year's show was successful enough that we were able to hire the interim director for the museum. So for the first time, amazingly, we had museum people working on museum stuff and show people working on show stuff.
Here's where we are right now, right? We have a museum that is, 30% along the way to where I would like to see it. Starting from maybe 10% last year. So we're getting there, and I think that's going to accelerate.
Just in general, the museum needs a bigger home, and it will continue to grow that home, and it's exciting that it really does have a place, even if it's a small place.
This show is unlike anything else in the burlesque world. It's not really a convention. Part of it is a convention, but there's a lot more to it. Then you have to also factor in that we've got 3 or 4 dozen legends that all require their own group of people to work on their arrangements and contacting them and outreach and getting them here. And then on top of all of that, we have to remember that we're still serving the fundamental purpose of benefiting the museum. In the end, this show has to clear enough money to keep the museum going, and it's finally reaching that point now where it's self-sustaining, and it's really good.
So we try to be both. We sell a big flashy show, and we try to have a big flashy museum, or a little flashy museum. They yell at me because I call this a show. All the people I work with are like, so I'm like, so yeah, I'm putting up the show. They're like, you're putting on a show?
Each year it seems incredibly to get better and better. And the Burlesque Hall of Fame, of course, now having its spot down on downtown in Las Vegas is a tremendous thing for burlesque and for performers and for legends. And I'm hoping that as time goes on, we'll see more and more support for the museum from performers, but also from fans.
But this has grown so much since I joined up. My first year was the last year at the goat farm, and things were a lot, even Exotic World, I still call it Exotic World. It was a lot smaller, but this has grown so much since I joined up.
We are at the Orleans Bowling Alley for the Bearcat Invitational 2012, a B-Hop Bolo. It's back in the day, Jenny Lee actually had a bowling team and a softball team, so we're kind of carrying on the Legends tradition in dance and also in bowling. It's turned into a grand scheme of craziness and costumes and silliness, and it's just kind of a nice community event where we can get everyone together in the daylight of all things and come out here and have fun. It's just a laid-back, easy time.
And now since I'm here, I realized, oh, the whole contest thing, that's just the side thing. It's just the thing to have the people come. But the real thing is to keep the community alive, and I'm really, really touched how much effort and how much love the people who organize this put into their legends and keep this history alive.
I have to say that this is the warmest collection of people that I've encountered, and it's been absolutely fantastic.
And this is the thing for me, that this is the present, is there's, I don't know how many people, 1,500 people in the hotel right now who are insane about burlesque and insanely committed. I have never been in a community that was so committed to helping, and I get emails all the time. I just want to help. Whatever you want, I will do.
Getting to know them a little bit more, getting hugs from some of the legends. For me, that's what I'm here for.
Yes, this is my first time ever in Vegas, let alone the Burlesque Hall of Fame. Everything I could imagine wanting, in a weekend. It's like summer camp. I don't know. It's amazing.
I've been missing out for so many years. It's my first year coming, and I've just loved it. It's inspiring, it's exciting, and it's just wonderful. It's glamorous, fabulous.
They're really hitting home hard that it is a museum and that it is an organization, and that this weekend is actually just part of a larger thing, and that this is here as a fundraiser to keep the legacy going of burlesque, and so that there is always a home for it and a place for it.
I'm leaving here with a whole new brain of ideas and respect, and it is mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing, but that's all I got.
But it's so amazing that these people in this community support this institution. I don't know what it is, if it's burlesque has this like transformative power that, you know, is an honor for me to be associated with a museum that is dedicated to an art form that changes lives, literally, but also changes society, you know, because of the way that people are able to present sexuality and sexual issues and class issues and race issues. You know, this is such a powerful field. And literally people get into burlesque and it changes the way they think of themselves. I think that's incredible. To have that experience on stage for 4 minutes means your whole life is different.
Sky Blue Bunny, what are you most looking forward to next year?
Not seeing you.
Oh shit. Son of a bitch.